Okay, so hello everyone and welcome. This is the very last sync for this working group. Um, and yeah, so it's great to see where this end up. So we now have a somewhat consistent code guidelines across deploying, creating, maintaining Python code base, reviewing. Um, which serves as a backbone for future conversations. But as we are in the last part of this working group, which has not yet already finished, let's go over the exit criteria that we initially had. So if I go to find, I think it's 15580. Yes. Um, so the initial exit criteria was a known Python developer has guidance on how to understand and contribute to Python code base. So this is creating a new Python application. And we have recommended, no, this is creating a new Python, but to get started. So this is to get started. Learning resources, we are setting up the learning group now, and all things related. Is there something we would like to see still on this point? Like, is there anything missing that we suppose that we were someone starting with GitLab right now? What would it miss for them to get started working on an AI gateway, for example?
Um, yeah, just because I was going through the notes from this morning and I saw somewhere in regards to this particular exit criteria. I think you noted, Eduardo, that this would not be a Python class, but rather a place to explore different self-contained topics.
Hmm.
I was just curious if that's something that we might want to highlight on that page. So just to give some context, we on my team we've got a few three engineers joining in the coming weeks. Of course, I think maybe only one of them have like previous Python experience, and we've actually linked this page to our onboarding docs. But
Hmm.
in time as well, I think if we're not focusing on this to be like a Python class as you know it, then maybe we should highlight that. Um, yeah,
What do you mean? The learning group or the guideline page?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay. I was referring to the learning group.
Okay. Yeah, the
Yeah,
learning group,
my bad.
the learning group is not a Python class in itself. Well, it could be if people are interested in building that as like a joint learning experience. But it's difficult to sync a lot of people wanting to get started at the same time. So, for example, you cannot always be starting learning because one, there's a lot of good resources out there,
Hmm.
and this would be more of similar to what we have on AI Learning Group, which is more freeform.
Yeah,
But that's my idea. The learning group should decide if these people want to schedule a book club for learning Python. That's another alternative. It's not the only place to get started.
sure.
But on the page itself, we have the learning resources,
Yeah.
um, which are
Oh, yeah.
the place to start. Like if you don't know Python at all,
Yeah.
or you are not confident that you know the basics of Python, I
Hmm.
think these are the best resources because it allows you to go really fast at your own time.
Yeah, I think that was what I was aiming at, like that fastness of like ramping up, but at the same time. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Cool. Thanks for clarifying.
Okay. So, is there anything else on this exit criteria that we would like to discuss? A Python, non-Python developer's guidance. Jesse, you did a lot of work in the past for to get AI Gateway easier for newcomers that want to contribute. Do you have anything to add to this point?
I've done a lot of work on that. You overstate my contributions. I think I was just looking at this. There are a couple of links that I might want to add. I was trying to remember where they were somewhere else before, so I can't remember, or I don't know why. Oh, maybe they're just at the bottom. Yeah, I might do a little bit of just there's because there's resources and then there's more resources at the bottom.
Hmm.
I don't really know why there are two sections, but um, no, I think this is a really great start. Good job, man. A lot of good work here, and everyone else who contributed.
To the getting started. Okay, so the next exit criteria would be guidelines and templates for Python code base creation. And this would be creating a new Python application. Right, what I see right now is we have a recommended folder structure. Uh, I might add something on how to structure tests. I want to add uh, because on AI Gateway, at least we have a problem that we don't know where the tests are. Because on Ruby, on Rails, like you have a file name and then you have the exact same place where with the same path where the RSpec is. And on AI Gateway, that's not the case, and we're a little bit lost. Like, do it if I change a code, what files should I run? So add some sort of recommendation on test file name.
I have a
So,
question.
hmm?
So now when we merged recommended the structure of the project, and we know that in an AI gateway it's not kind of clear where are the tests. And so I assume that there is some kind of something in our already existing code base which doesn't actually correspond to our guidelines. Are we going to fix it, or it's create the issue for maintainers, or how we will force to kind of actually to use this guidelines for existing code?
For me, what's best is best. Um, new guidelines are forward-looking. So we sometimes like we cannot change all of the tests in AI Gateway anymore to match a specific file naming, but we can avoid having further issues in the future. It's the same with Ruby code base. Like we keep adding new guidelines, new improvements, new ways of doing, but the code base will not entirely follow that, which is annoying, but it's
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, true. But usually people who add, for example, new rules to Rubocop, they also follow up with issues to like fix existing problems or just actually do it themselves. Because right now, what I see, this is we have this group of people who are work on this documentation, and we have another like set of the people who are maintainers of this other existing projects, and this is kind of partial overlapped groups, but this is not our this is not the task and the goal of this working group to fix AI gateway, for example. But it also like I
Hmm.
just want that
Yeah.
this documentation not just kind of like you basically became useless to existing projects.
Yeah, so I think it's unrealistic. Like, of course, we want to fix the guidelines that we are introducing and be backward, like fix what's done. But just the fact that we can avoid it, for me, just the fact that we can avoid those problems in the future, makes is the win that we have.
I have a
But I
crazy
see your
idea.
point. Hmm?
I have a crazy idea. We have a hackathon coming up, don't we?
Do we?
I believe we do.
The community hackathon.
Would this not count?
It could count. Something that could be, Stefan. could we use the hackathon somehow?
I mean, right now,
There
most
is,
people commit to the hackathon commit in like the Ruby way, and I know a number of people don't, myself included, aren't the best at Ruby.
yeah.
But if I was external and was like, hey, I want to see this GitLab thing and try it out,
Actually, somebody from the
maybe.
community, like contributor success team, asked us to create more Python issues.
Hmm.
There aren't really any, and they have a lot of people who would like to be like doing AI. So we can be like, do AI, fix the syntax in this Python code base.
I mean, we have a chuckle about it, but honestly, yeah, I could see like if I'm a soon-to-be new grad coming out of school, being able to like jump in and just like, oh, the style guide says this, and we're supposed to use a comprehension when we can instead of a for loop. Oh, sure, I can do that. Stuff like this.
Hmm.
I can see them definitely having, or oh, it doesn't line up with the formatter. Sure, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. For Rubocop on the Ruby, what happens is there's usually when a Rubocop is added and we don't want to fix everything, we add an exceptions file with the list of files. So that creates an automatic to-do list that other contributors can fetch. So in this case, a change in guideline would require a change in the tooling. So we don't have, that's a downside. We don't have tooling to guarantee these guidelines, but we could somehow add, at least for the testing. Uh, so this is something. I think now we are discussing as well, we started to discuss the second point that comes after building a guideline, maintaining the guideline, which is the much harder part of this work. So
Yeah.
how
I think we had a great suggestion probably a few meetings ago from Jesse to use linter as much as possible and just to create these linter rules. I'm not sure would it be possible to cover all our guidelines, but even if we cover, let's say 10, 15, 20% of the of our guideline, it's already great.
Can we
Mhm.
create a issue for hackathon to add as linter?
Mm.
We have already. We just need to first learn how to create the rules and then create the rules. I don't know how to create. I know how to create for Robocop, but I don't know for Python.
Let's bring Tan to this meeting.
Yeah.
He knows.
Actually,
He definitely knows.
I've been working on our linting right now, actually, for the past couple of days, and I think step one is getting our linter to pass as it stands for like ELF5 and AI Gateway, which is what I've been working on for the last couple of days. It's been honestly rather rewarding. It's been fun. At least I like the idea of like solving these problems. But it'll be a little while until we get to the point where like those all clear. Um, but when we do, I think, yeah, having
Yeah, sorry, sir.
sorry, when we do that, get there, having custom ones for any of the outstanding rules that aren't covered by that as it stands. I'm a fan.
We had this use case, to be honest. I don't remember, maybe one year ago, and Tan did everything in the gateway. We applied MyPy or PyLint. We had
My
lots of
pie.
issues. Yeah, lots of issues, and then we
Yeah,
just step by step updating the make file. We fixed one file by another, by one file by one. So the main problem is how to write these rules because it can be really
yeah.
complex. But
As I
yeah,
was going through that today, I can assure you that the fixes did not take. We have to fix them again. Uh, but yeah, I think there is a mechanism to write custom rules in MyPy. I It's been a long time since I did this. Yeah, I think me and Tan can sit down and take a shot at it when he's back from workflow. That'd be fun. That'd be real fun.
Okay. So yeah, I think this would be nice. So we have a few things that could be. We have a few things that could be like, for example, Uh, the test naming. We have already how to set up the linters, but that could be one. Um,
so for
Another thing that just a
if
second.
you're, yeah, go ahead. So for test, it's easier just because we use PyTest, so we can just create a PyTest configuration to select what Python files and you want to consider as test, what Python functions you need to consider as test use cases. Do we need to consider classes as test cases or just functions? It's all about PyTest configuration. So since I see the doc, we use PyTest, so we just need to create a good PyTest configuration and it will be completed.
Okay. So what else would it be missing here on code creation? Well, my question might not be answered here now, but take a look at the code guidelines afterwards, and then it's better to do this with time than right now. So look at the different resources and okay. So the next one would be Tatiana. Oh, the guidelines for deployment. So the guidelines for deployment right now, what we achieved was we made it easier for deploying to PyPy. So there's a process for pushing our libraries if we want to PyPy and make them pip installable. And we defined a little bit the service deployment for Runway. For self-hosted, it's still, and also the backwards compatibility issues that we're having. For self-hosted deployment of Python services, so not cloud connected, self-hosted, the current guideline is still using a Docker build, but mostly because Runway is not yet on self-hosted and because there are further discussions on whether we should use Unix services, but none are ready to become a guideline. So we cannot add those yet in here. But that was what we achieved in terms of deployment. And finally, I think this
And just
is one
caveat,
of
the deployment with Docker containers has the other advantage of making for those who tend to use it, if they want to follow our standards outside of the company, it makes it better for them. A Unix service does not necessarily exist if you're trying to install it on a Windows server, for example.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to do like a lift and shift outside of the company or broader one of our clients or whatever, it's more cross-platform in a lot of ways than Unix services.
Yeah, I don't think we
And more people know them.
I don't think GitLab installation is supported on Windows machines. I think it's only Unix. And
This is true, but doesn't stop people from trying.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's absolutely true. Okay.
All right, let's hit it.
So then the last one is on code review and maintainership guidelines. Tatiana, would you like to take over?
Yeah, I guess from the morning we merged whatever was actually was it like whatever we were able to merge. I don't know if it was deployed yet or not, but I guess what is missing is code review best practices is still in progress, but it's just supposed to be only link to the company guidelines and then a code style. And I think we just need to try to dogfood this maintainership template, for example, first for the AI framework, because I kind of feel worried that it might be confusion between the Python project maintainers and Python experts. So we will have this additional group of the people who are knowledgeable about Python and can help with not only the projects they work on in the moment, but also like the other project that use Python in the company. But yeah, I think we need to start with dogfooding it, and then we'll see what's missing.
Yeah, but now we have the resources. We have like a single Python pool that we can use, reviewer pool that we can use for new projects and smaller ones. Communication channels for discussion and questions, being able to ping maintainers for discussion as well. I put a point here. Maybe we should make that list the owners of the Python guidelines so that at least one maintainer needs to approve changes to the Python guidelines so that the other maintainers know what's going on to these docs. So I can take that to do that. And yeah, there's plenty here already.
I was looking into it in the past, but I am afraid to be able, like, kind of, it might require to actually to have the group inside of the GitLab project, the one where we have backend and front-end reviewers. But I might be wrong.
I don't think so, but
Okay.
we will need to check. But
Yeah.
I think code owners can be a
Any
group
group.
that's outside of the project.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'll check
Yeah.
it. But you can set as a group for code owners.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, we already have this Python maintainers, and as soon as like everything is kind of deployed, we'll also make an announcement so people can actually start adding themselves as experts, and then we'll have more people, and not just me, Eduardo, and Fred, who was testing the guinea pig group.
Yeah, so we need to make a call for reviewers so that they can add themselves as to the list. Right. Okay.
Love it.
It's, yeah, we need a call for reviewers. So
Do we have an idea of who's on that list currently?
Which
only
list?
Just the
needed-
three of you?
Yeah.
Is everybody in this group?
No, it's like the thing is, I needed to test some automations, so I just added
Yeah.
myself, and then I added Eduardo just kind of to have more people. But basically, I don't feel myself like a Python expert, so as soon as this job is done, I just like remove myself. But the thing is, yeah, I think should like there is a process already established how to kind of join. So I would love that we actually start using this process from the day one.
Yeah, let's do it. Shoot it my way and I'll guinea pig it for you.
Sure.
Because I'd love to be part of I think I should one of those.
Yep.
I'd like that.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll happily run it through.
Yeah, the thing is that we just like we were merging like the last merge request today, and I just kind of the links and documentation might be wrong, so I want that to be kind of done, and then there will be no confusion, and I'll make an announcement in the channel.
Here,
Right
how
on.
to become a Python maintainer. I'll add. Alexander, we have a few minutes, so would you like to go over your point?
Good. Yeah, if you want. So yeah, we already have great documentation. We probably need to update our onboarding issues with the links just to help new developers onboard faster. Because I think the existing documentation already has a lot of great details covering what we have right now.
Do we even have an onboarding for Python?
Oh, that's a good question. If we're not, we need to create.
Question, Shola, you mentioned you're having 3 new people join your team. When is that?
I can't remember the exact dates, but in April. So I think second
Okay.
week, third week, and then the end of April, I think, scattered around. But from the first one is on the 12th of April, and then the others
Right.
after.
So if we can hustle on this, we'll have testers in like 2 weeks, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, I've already included some of the links. The Python getting started link
Yeah.
already in, but it's team specific. So we've got like an onboarding issue, but I don't know if there's a company-wide developer onboarding document. But
I
yeah,
think we're thinking there's not, but it'd be cool if there was.
okay.
Yeah. If you could throw a link to the issue on the comment that Eduardo just made there, that'd
Yeah,
be
I'll do
super
that
cool
now.
to like be able to look through that. Just
Yeah.
as a base framework for
Actually,
how we want to make this thing.
Let me rephrase that. I created
Mhm.
an MR this afternoon to add it. So
Uh,
once it's
well,
merged,
yeah,
and it gets merged like today or something, then
sure,
I'll
sure.
put it up. Or I can even
Actually,
put up the MR itself.
the MR would actually be great because then that shows in the Python. That's actually probably even better because then we don't have
Okay,
to go through the whole onboarding issue. We just have to go through the relevant parts.
all right,
Yeah, it really help us. Thanks so much, man.
no worries. Mhm.
Cool. So we're out of time, and well, might have a couple minutes, but I'll just say thank you everyone for the work on this. We've merged so far 13 tagged MRs to the documentation, in addition to the work needed to get those MRs to get merged in the first place. So setting up the roulette, setting up the PyPy and everything. So that was a big evolution from what we had already in a couple of months ago, and it's really nice to see that happening. So thank you a lot for the help, and this group still goes on for a few more days. So if you have anything that you want to add, go through the documentation, see if there's anything that you would like to see over there, see if there's any way you can make more sense of the structure. And yeah, just not only now afterwards as well. It's not because this this working group is just like a task force initially, but we will take over on a little more a different format after this. Sounds good? Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.